The 19th CPC National Congress also has attracted plenty of attention here in Africa. The media will be keenly following deliberations in China. Expectations are varied, but many will be looking at, especially at how China shapes its foreign policy and how much Africa could learn from China's development model. Let's get some more African perspectives from Dr. Robert Kagiri. He is the Director in charge of Strategy and Policy Management at the African Policy Institute. Dr. Kagiri, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
What are the key issues that African leaders and policymakers will be paying attention to at the 19th National Congress of the Communist Party of China?
Well, to give it some perspective, what we are witnessing at the Congress, which happens every 5 years, is more like the election that happened in the US, in a superpower, where there is a transition of power or some changes happening, even when the government is retained. So in this case, President Xi Jinping, of course, is expected to continue, but there will be quite a number of people who will be retiring from the political scene as a result of issues like age, and so there will be some form of transition. So Africa policymakers will be looking more to see the level of continuity in China foreign policy towards Africa. And in this respect, I don't expect much policy shifts to happen. The policy direction that was initiated on the One Belt, One Road initiative by President Xi Jinping when he came in will continue in terms of connectivity within Africa and connectivity to Asia and China, and helping with the infrastructure and closer friendship with the continent. That is expected to continue following this Congress. Yes. And
China-Africa relations have been growing from strength to strength. We've seen that over the years. What impact are policy decisions taken at this Congress likely to have on the future of such relations?
Like I said, we're looking at a lot of continuity. And what we shall be seeing in the coming years, as China now becomes a more formidable global player, Africa will be hinging on China to launch them into the global scene, either through upgrading of its infrastructure or playing a big role in importing products from Africa and extending global trade. So we'll be looking for them to have a closer relationship, closer ties with us, because they're also looking towards Africa as a growing market for them and their own produce. So I think the friendship will be cemented over the next 5 years as China becomes a bigger player in the global arena and relying a lot on African countries, especially at the United Nations, to work closely with them. Yes.
Now, this round of National Congress will elect the new CPC Central Committee, yes, and also set China's development blueprint for the next 5 years. So what lessons can African nations learn from this process?
Well, first of all, coming from Kenya, the first thing I can say that we can learn that transition of power does not have to be cantankerous all the time. It can be a smooth and seamless transition. So that is an important lesson for us, that while we do have a different political ideology in terms of leanings, most African countries and China, the transition of power or the shift does not have to be chaotic. Even like what we see in the US, it can be done quietly and smoothly so that people can continue to conducting their business. Then we also need to learn a lot on how they got 500 million people out of poverty. What did they do politically to help get this done? Because that's what we are looking toward. What can we borrow from them to get our own people out of poverty in the next 5 years, working closely with China? And they are eager to share those lessons on government to government and people to people level. So that is what we should be looking towards from them. And finally, coming together either under FOCAC or any other umbrella, AU, to sort of articulate what we want from China, because they are very clear what they want from Africa. But what do we want from them as in the form of priorities? So we should prioritize our needs, come together and communicate what our priorities are from them, because they are willing and able to work closely with us in the coming years as they become a global, actually perhaps the most formidable global player. That is what they are looking for, to become the most formidable before they celebrate their 100 years of Chinese CPC leadership in 2021. They're looking to make big milestones in the next 5 years. So we hope to be embedded in that those aspirations of theirs and gain from it. Yes.
Thank you very much for those insights. Thank you, Dr. Robert Kagiri, with us here in studio.